What up? What up? What up? How's everybody doing out there? This is Shamar.
This is T-Bass.
Hey, this is Shamar, T-Bass and Shamar show. How's everybody out there, man? This is 2024.
Yeah.
That's a brand new year. We got the playoffs coming. We're about to do the playoff bracket here, and what team are we going to start off on? That's that part we didn't discuss.
Well, you know what? I thought first we
wait. I'll tell you this much.
My team.
We ain't starting with the Raiders. We ain't starting with the Raiders.
We ain't starting with the Raiders at all. At all. Yeah. So we'll talk about. So I lost the bet. I lost the 9-game bet.
Start off with that. Before we start off with the playoffs,
yeah.
Let's start off with the good stuff. They never reached 9 games.
I lost the bet. I chipped off Hindu. I chipped off Hen, and I started to go getting 25 ones, but I said, "Nah, T, don't be like that. Don't be like that. Get a brother's money." And so we fell a game short. I figured we were going to fall a game short. It was doable, but we didn't get it done. And they got a lot of big decisions to make in the offseason. That's it. And since we're golfing right now, that's where I want to leave the conversation. We're golfing.
No, I was for real. Yeah. I was just listening to some news coming in.
Okay.
And they're talking about the possibilities of the head coaches that they may want.
Right.
For Las Vegas.
Right.
And of course, Belichick is a name that's been thrown around.
Right.
And then
they talked about Harbaugh.
Harbaugh is a name that's coming up.
Okay.
However, there's a little stick in the mud right now, a little issue going on.
What's the issue?
Max Crosby has put out there that if they don't hire this interim coach, if they hire anybody else other than this guy,
he's disgruntled.
He wants not disgruntled. He wants to be traded.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I was like,
wait,
whoa,
listen, okay, so
that's big news, right?
No, that is big news. And remember, I told you earlier in the year 2023, I said, listen, man, the Raiders, this is gonna be a difficult decision for the Raiders on a whole different lot of levels, right? And then here's another thing. So just to build on that, Antonio Pierce is interviewing with the Titans. So the Raiders haven't just made this decision real quick, right? So now you got other people who are interested in Antonio Pierce. And so it's like, okay, so Raiders, what? And as I'm reading that, I'm saying, okay, so what y'all gonna do?
Here's my problem with this.
Okay,
And I think Max, I can't say he's wrong.
Right. No, I got you.
Because he's standing up for his guy.
I got you.
And because you're standing up for your guy,
the players want him.
Up. I appreciate
player
that
empowerment,
sort of loyalty, and all of that.
Right.
However, here's the problem.
Here.
Antonio Pierce said, my resume is on the grass.
Okay.
Well, you have a losing resume. Did they lose more than they won?
No, actually, no. So the overall is a losing resume, right? But to be honest with you, we won more games than we won last year. That's number one. Number two, he did actually. So he was 5-4 as a coach.
So he had
a winning record as a coach. He was 5-4.
Okay, so you're 5-4. You're middle of the road.
So you're middle of the road. Now for me, that becomes an issue because it's like
that's not my issue.
But let me tell you why it's my issue. And I told you this as a Raider fan. I want a generational coach. I don't want a middle of the road guy.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that he is.
We agree. I agree.
I like the energy that Antonio Pierce brought to the team. I like the fact that he reestablished an identity for us, and our identity is defensive. I like all of that. But as a Raider fan, I'm saying mediocre is not good enough for me. I want an exceptional talent.
That's the point that I was just about to make.
Right.
The guy, I'm wrong in saying that he's a losing coach.
No, because he's not, because he's a winning coach.
He's a middle of the road, 5-4.
He's 5-4.
Here's the issue that I have with this, Max. Harbaugh, if he is a candidate, had his last football team in the NFL in the Super Bowl.
Right. Right.
So what you're doing is you're sitting and saying, well, I don't want a Super Bowl coach. What? That's backwards.
Right.
And this guy, as much as I'm all for giving brothers a shot.
Right.
I'm all for saying, no, we got to give a brother a shot because we don't give a lot of brothers a shot, so we're going to give this one a shot. I get it. Yeah. However, in this case, you're saying, well, who has the better resume? Who do we think fits the culture of this team? Pierce does fit the culture of the team, but Harbaugh definitely fits the culture of the Raiders.
Okay.
He wants to come in, he wants to punch teams in the mouth.
Okay.
Because remember when he had San Francisco, they had a good defense, one of the better defenses in the league, probably the number one defense.
Right.
When he was with San Francisco, they had one of the best running games in the league.
He also has an issue in Michigan as being a cheater too. So, and I just want to put that out there. Not that it's that significant or whatever. I mean, but you got to talk about everything, right?
Listen, and this is where I would push back on that. I agree. There's a little shadiness going on there. He also got fired from the 49ers.
Okay.
So you build a Super Bowl team and got fired from a Super Bowl team, that's a red flag, and I agree.
Right.
I don't disagree with any of that. But here's the problem. It's the Raiders. Right. You guys have had people
right, we are right.
This organization has had guys like Harbaugh their whole entire existence.
Right.
He's a perfect Raider. He's a pirate, basically.
Right. I mean,
So you hire that guy because he's going to come in and turn this team into a tough team, which they already are, in my opinion.
Right.
And I don't disagree with Max, but I do disagree with Max.
Well, you know what? That conversation is a whole different conversation because now you're talking about, once again, player empowerment. I feel like a lot of people would disagree with the fact that, and I don't think that this is right, that, there's this conversation of how much power do we give the players, and at the end of the day, it's the owner's decision, right? Like that's a conversation. But I do think that it's smart. I mean, I do like the energy that Antonio Pierce brought to the Raiders. I think he boosted our confidence. I like the way the defense looks. Like, I definitely like the defensive improvements. And so if you go get a quarterback, here's what I would do. Here's how I would play this. You may miss out on somebody like a Harbaugh or something like this, but I would give Antonio Pierce, I would give him a 2-year contract. I would be like, I'm not going to give you a 5-year contract based on the fact that you were 5-4, and I don't want to get locked in long term. But I'm giving you a 2-year contract. I want to build on the momentum that we developed this season, and I want to take that in the next season. And we have to at least become a playoff team in that 2-year window. I need to get to the playoffs, and I need to have at least one win in the playoffs. And then after the 2 years, we renegotiate, and then we do a long-term deal. That's, I think, the smart move to me.
I agree with that to some degree. And I also need to put out there that I'm not the biggest Harbaugh fan.
Right.
I was just making an argument.
No, I mean
for the reason why it would be
why the players
why it would be okay to hire him, or in my opinion why you would hire him. But the other guy that I would give a shot if I was the Raiders.
Right.
And this is my first pick.
Okay.
I let Antonio Pierce interview for the Titans. Okay. I let him go.
Wait, he's going to do that anyway.
And I let him.
You don't have no...
And then I turn right around and I interview the Titans coach that they just let go, Mike Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel?
Oh, yeah. I would.
Yeah.
And I know he's a Belichick guy.
Right.
I get it. However, he's also known to be a player's coach.
Right.
He's also known to be a defensive guy. And so under him, Derrick Henry has been running all over teams, and the defense has been tough.
Right.
And so you basically giving him a team where you have a defense that's intact, and you got a running back that he likes, a pounder.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect situation. And you got Adams over there, who he kind of mimics A.J. Brown.
Hey, the Raiders, to me, this year, and I just want to close it off because, we are golfing, and we ain't gonna dominate too much of the podcast with this conversation. But I'll say this: the decision that they make this year is probably going to be a 5 or a 10-year decision. So I think that they got to get it right. You got to get the draft pick right, the quarterback situation right, and you got to get the coaching situation right. Because the biggest problem with the Raiders is that we don't stick to anything. Every 2 or 3 years, we're switching it up and we're going back to the drawing board. I'd like to see a 5-year process, So that's what I have to say on it.
Well, okay, so I guess first team out the box, I say Miami Chiefs. Which, by the way, if I must say, please stop putting these games on Peacock. That's ridiculous. Brother just told me just now that game tonight is not on regular TV. It's on Peacock. NFL, come on. But help brothers out. Put it on a channel that everyone could watch because it is the playoffs.
Right. I mean, you have the prime time game being streamed, and that's fine. So that's some generational stuff going on too. But people want to come to the crib, they want to turn on their television, and the game is there. Now they're going to turn on the TV, and guess what? Where's the game? Oh, it's on Peacock exclusively. So now you got to do this or that. It was annoying for me during the season to have the games on Thursday night on Amazon, because if you don't have an Amazon Prime subscription, guess what? You're not watching the Thursday night game. I think if the NFL is trying to establish their viewership, it makes more sense to me to make it more accessible.
Is Peacock free or not? I don't even know.
I'm not going to even explore it. I'm going to just miss that game tonight.
Dang.
I'm literally going to be like, I'm not going to even... Because I want to go to CB or wherever and watch the game. So I just...
And I don't even know how to get the game. Well, anyway, so please, put the games on regular TV. That's ridiculous. So, KC, Miami, who do you got in that game?
I got KC. I got KC because of the weather and, because of Mahomes. But here's what I'll say. To me, that's a 50-50 pick. I could also see the Dolphins beating Kansas City.
Right.
So in a normal game, this is not going to be a normal game because the weather is playing a huge factor in this game. So it could go either way. But even if, say they were playing in the dome, I would still have the same. I would still take the same approach. I think I would go with KC, but I would be like, but this is a 50-50 thing, man. Miami. I could also see Miami beating Kansas City based on how Kansas City closed the season and how they've been playing.
Who you got? Same. I would. My betting money's on KC.
Okay.
And I would say my heart is with Miami because I'm not a big Miami.
Right.
I'm not really a big Miami fan. Never have been.
Right.
I don't hate them, but I don't like them.
I'm
like in the middle there, and I like Mahomes and I like Andy Reid.
I'm a Mahomes believer. Believer, so I think, but hey, we're gonna see, man. What if it's an ugly game and Miami gets it done? That could happen.
I wouldn't be shocked.
That could happen.
I wouldn't be shocked. It's a revenge game too.
Right.
So some teams tend to play better in the second time we see you. Now we're more familiar. We kind of know what you're gonna throw at us. It is cold. If it turns into a run game, that might actually lean towards Miami because of the fact that. Andy Reid isn't known for running the ball.
Okay.
He's a pass first guy. And it's possible that it turns into a running game and his team doesn't do it. Not that they don't have the team to run, but he just maybe doesn't run, call too many passes. I don't know. But my mind says that KC.
So we're both going KC. Yes, we're both going KC. Game. Now what about the Browns and the Texans, the early game today? Or is that the Steelers? The Steelers play today?
I think today is the
Steelers play. Yeah.
I'm not sure who plays today.
It's the Steelers and the Texans. It's the Steelers.
Is it the Browns and the Texans?
No,
or the Steelers and
it's the Steelers and the Texans. It's the Steelers and the Texans. They play the 125 game. They play the early game.
Are you sure? Let me see. Yeah. Let's see. Because it says Houston, Cleveland.
Oh, is it Houston, Cleveland?
Yeah. So it's Cleveland and Texans.
Okay, so who does the Steelers play?
They play Buffalo.
They play Buffalo.
Right.
That's right. They play Buffalo.
And so today is
the Browns,
Cleveland, and Texans. At first, I was saying because of the defense, the Browns, and because of Flacco.
Okay.
However, it's that young kid, man.
Yeah. No, I know.
He's impressive, man.
Right.
It's hard to go against them. They're exciting. They're the new thing. My mind says Cleveland, but my heart is starting to lean towards the Texans. I'm 50-50.
So who you got? Who you taking? Keep it real.
Texans.
You going Texans. Nice. Okay.
I changed my mind.
I'm going Browns.
And you changed your mind.
No.
Because you said Texans yesterday.
No.
You said, I like that kid.
No, I like the kid. No, I do like the kid. He is the rookie of the year in my mind. He's hands down, he's the rookie of the year. And I do like that kid. But I'm going Browns. I'm saying the veteran quarterback is going to outdo the youngster. And
There are in Texas.
It doesn't matter. I'm going Cleveland.
I can't do it. It's hard to.
I'm going Cleveland.
Because Cleveland's defense is.
Well, you know what? And then Cleveland for me is a family thing too. Because,
yeah.
You know, so I'm going with the because
that makes sense.
The wife's family is Cleveland, and you know my in-laws are in Cleveland, so I'm rocking Cleveland. That's one of it. But then too, from a football perspective, I think the Browns are gonna get it done. Man, I like the fact that the Browns are good. And I want to see the Browns succeed.
So staying in the AFC.
Okay.
Buffalo, Pitt.
Buffalo.
I'm
going Bills. Although we know how these Steelers can be, and guess what? And the Steelers know how to win these type of games. And so
I'll tell you what would be intriguing.
It would not surprise me if they mess around in there, if the Steelers go around in there and pull out a chippy game and win by a field goal or something like that.
If the Steelers could go to Buffalo and get that game, because it's not going to be warm in Buffalo either.
But it doesn't matter because they're both cold weather teams.
But hear me out. It's not warm in Buffalo.
Right.
That's a cold.
No, it's going to be cold in the East, right? And the East Coast is going through a blizzard.
If the Steelers could go to Buffalo and pull that win out,
then
KC was to beat Miami, I wouldn't put it past the Steelers to also go to KC and pull that out.
I could see that happening.
And here's the problem with that. If I'm correct, I have to look it up, but if I'm correct, because I hear Henry talking about this all the time.
Okay.
He always says, every time it comes to the Steelers, he goes, man, we struggle against that team.
Right.
And
it makes sense.
It's the Steelers.
It's the Steelers.
It's the Steelers.
It's the Steelers, bro.
And in the cold, which is something that we're all used to seeing.
Right.
So I wouldn't.
Listen,
I wouldn't be overly shocked to see it happen.
So the Bills, you guys have to win this game, man. Like, this is a must win for you. You got to be careful because the Steelers are the Steelers and they know how to win these type of games.
Man, there's just no team in the AFC. There's no matchup that you can create that's not a good matchup.
Yeah.
Like, so if Pittsburgh wins and Miami wins, that's a good matchup. If Pittsburgh wins, you know what I'm saying? If Buffalo, KC wins.
I don't like Pittsburgh, Miami, though. That doesn't sound like.
It's still a good game.
No, it is a good game, but I just don't. It just doesn't sound good to me. You know what I mean? Like,
the only team, the Houston is the one that's been like, and Houston and Buffalo.
I've been rooting against Houston all year.
So is everybody.
I've been rooting against Houston all year,
a lot of people been
and they just kept winning and winning and winning. The same thing with Cleveland. I was like, I need these guys to lose, and they just kept winning and kept winning and kept winning. And I was like, okay, damn. I was like, okay, so these teams are actually performing this year. And CJ, don't be mad at me for saying that. It's cool, man. Like. I was like, you got to prove it to me, right? I was like, you got to prove it to me.
Because he's a rook.
But he did.
But
he did. And I was like, nah, that's a hell of a showing.
If I'm correct, he's done better than any rookie ever in the history of the game.
He looks good.
As a quarterback.
He looks, out of that class of quarterbacks, he is hands down the best QB out of that class. I
can't remember who else came out of the class.
So Bryce Young was there.
Didn't do too well.
You had the other kid who went to the Colts. Was it Richardson or was it Richardson?
I think that Stroud did better because of the fact that he was able to play the whole season.
Right.
But Richardson was doing well.
No, he was doing well.
He was doing well.
He was doing well.
It's quite possible his team might be in the playoffs right now.
Well, we don't know. I mean, he
I'm not.
Health was an issue.
Right.
Health was an issue.
I just throwing it out there. The brother was. Right. He wasn't that bad, and he was a rookie. But anyway, who else was in that rookie class?
Aiden O'Connell was in that rookie class.
He didn't really do bad.
I like the way Aiden O'Connell performed as a rookie. He won some games. I'm sure he didn't feel like he was going to even be on the field this year with Garoppolo there, but he won us some games. No, I actually like, and I'm like,
you know what? You probably should keep him. At least keep him. Don't
right.
Well, where's he gonna go? He's only a rookie, right?
Right. But I do like the way our rookie performed. Outstanding job.
Okay, NFC.
Okay, NFC. Let's go.
NFC. So what we're gonna start off? We're gonna leave one team last.
We're gonna take your team first.
We're gonna do that last.
Okay, we're gonna do that last.
Detroit Raiders. I'm sorry, Rams. Excuse me.
Detroit. I'm going with the Rams. And I'm thinking that the Rams may go in there and surprise you. I watched Detroit a few times this year. They do look good. Their record is solid. But I also see that if you play really well against them, you may be able to beat this team. So I'm going to go for an upset here. I'm going to go Rams.
Detroit football.
Okay.
I'm going with Detroit.
Okay, you going with Detroit?
I'm going with Detroit.
Gotcha.
And I like the Rams in the sense that they're LA.
Yeah.
You know, I don't dislike them. I like the greatest show on turf when they had it.
Right.
But I think they're going to lose.
You think Detroit is for real?
Detroit's defense is going to be the deciding factor.
I don't know.
I think that's going to be the deciding factor in the game. But here's the thing. I really do like seeing Stafford. The Rams and Detroit both got what they wanted out of those trades.
Yeah.
So Stafford goes, they get the Super Bowl that they thought that they couldn't get with Goff. Goff goes to Detroit, and the team turns from a non-playoff team to a team that might get to the Super Bowl.
I like what Goff has done.
So, I mean, I think both teams got what they needed out of that. Right. I don't think no one lost in the trade. And then it's crazy to see Stafford going back to Detroit to play.
This is awesome,
and then
man. This is awesome.
Goff playing the Rams like
and
on some hey.
And Goff said he said, I still feel some kind of way.
I feel some. I would too.
I feel some kind of way about them trading me.
I would too.
And so
basically, what you said is I couldn't do it.
Right.
You did get there and didn't do it, but
right. But once again, young quarterback. You got to give young guys. You got to give a chance to develop a little bit. So okay. So so we're split on this. You're going Detroit. I'm going Rams.
Right. So then the next game, Dallas, Green Bay. That's easy for everybody.
I'm taking Dallas, but Cowboys. If your ass mess around and let Green Bay upset you, and they're not. I don't see that happening. I think
they're gonna.
And it's in Dallas too.
Yeah. I think that it's going to be close at first.
Right.
And then somewhere in the middle of that third, early fourth, they just going to pull away.
Right.
I'm not sure that the Packers blow them out or get blown out. Here's the thing, if I'm correct, Dallas struggles with the Packers.
Right. Some of this stuff.
If I'm correct, they struggle with the Packers.
Some of this stuff is historical, bro.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but can Love come in there and play a solid game? I don't see Dallas losing too, so I'm taking Dallas.
Now, the Eagle in me would love nothing better than the Packers to go in there and shove it to them.
Right.
I would love that all the way to the bottom of my heart. That would be great news.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen. So now.
Right.
Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. I'll let you go ahead.
Well, I'm going Philly. I haven't watched a lot of Tampa Bay football this year, to be honest with you. I mean, they're in the playoffs, but something tells me Philly, I don't know, but you guys are struggling, bro.
Struggling bad.
Like you, and you did lose some must-win games down the stretch.
Lost them.
But I'm gonna rock with you. I'm rocking with Philly, but I don't see you guys going to the NFC Championship or nothing like that because of those struggles. But I'm gonna at least say you guys at least win week 1. And yeah, you win week 1. And then your next, because I do kind of want to see the funk of Philly and Frisco. I do want to see that. So I would rather see that. I would rather see Philly, Frisco than the Buccaneers and San Francisco.
Okay. So if Detroit wins, they go to Dallas.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And if Philly wins, they go to Frisco. I think that's how that works.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going with Philadelphia. I would not
Right.
not go with Philadelphia.
Right. I mean, you have to go that route.
It's true. They've lost 5 out of 6 games. They've looked bad. Coaches haven't been coaching correctly. Players have been kind of tripping out. Defense looks horrible. Offense is actually one of the top offenses in the league, but still don't look up to par as what they did last year.
Yeah.
So, A.J. Brown is out. That
yeah,
hurts.
I just saw that.
That hurts.
I saw that.
And it's supposed to be like a rain game. It's supposed to be like a really bad storm in that direction.
In
Florida coming.
Okay.
So
in Tampa
on
Bay.
Monday night.
Right.
So, all that said, if I'm being honest, at first I was like, man, this isn't looking good. I'm not feeling it because, man, his coaching is really bad. However, the A.J. Brown injury might actually be a blessing in disguise.
Right. And I know where you're going with it.
Because now you're going to be forced to run.
Okay. And you've been complaining about that
And I've been
all year.
complaining about all year. Give me 30 runs in a game.
Okay.
Give me 25 to 30 runs in a game.
Right.
Not 14 to 20. Give me 25 to 30 runs.
Yeah.
Which is what they did the first time they played this team, and they ran them over. Literally ran them over.
Oh, yeah, right.
So now they need to mimic this. It's a rain game.
Right.
And you got one of the better lines in the league and been having pass protection problems.
Yeah.
Hurts has a dislocated finger, a broken finger, dislocated, whichever, or on his throwing hand.
Mm-hmm.
So this is leaning towards, why are we going to be passing the ball where a receiver down, a quarterback with a broken hand, and a perfectly great running back that runs about 4 yards a shot?
A carry, yeah.
So let him run.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's leading right into what they should be doing in the first place.
Right.
So maybe
it's a
this
blessing
is
in
perfect.
disguise.
Maybe, hopefully, it's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
For them to reverse the way they're playing.
Right.
Which then gives me confidence going into the next game with whoever they play. However, this is something else that I got to say.
You say it.
I was thinking about this coming in, and I said, you know what? If I'm being quite honest about it, this is absolutely prototypical Philadelphia football. Rocky Balboa shit.
Adrian!
This, you come in at the top of the game like Rocky was, he had got to the top. Mr. T came in and put him down, right? right? So they done got shot down. They sitting over here. And this is Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And so, Adrian, they need that extra. Now they come in, they limping.
Right.
A.J. Brown down. You got Hurts with a messed up finger. They've been calling bad calls. Everyone's saying, "Oh, this team, man, they ain't looking good."
Yeah, it could be
This
a
is
story.
right down Philadelphia's alley to have had home field advantage in their grasp.
Yeah.
Make it hard on themselves and have to go on the road every game. And from this point on, you start off with Tampa, who's not the greatest.
Right.
But then you ain't got no choice. You got to play Frisco. You got to play Dallas.
Hey, man.
Unless they lose somehow, which I doubt.
Hey, listen. Listen.
This is leading to the perfect storm. And if you have to run against Tampa with no AJ, you have to have AJ for the next game.
Right.
But maybe they figure it out and say, well, we got to run against this team.
It's playoff football. It's exciting. This is the excitement of the season.
I don't know. I'm feeling good right now.
This is the excitement of the season, man. Okay, so here's what I'll say about Philly. Yeah, all your swag and all your hype is just gone. Right? Like all that hype, all that, okay. So all that stuff you had, all your mojo just out the window this year. Or the close of this year. The close of the year. Because they had it. Right. You
After
had
the Buffalo game,
Jalen
Hurts is the MVP. They're the best in football.
No doubt.
And then
no doubt. But like you said, it's any given Sunday. It's playoff football. You go in there, you get a win against the Bucks. That's your start. Then you go to Frisco. Maybe you get an upset. Hey,
if they can get an upset in Frisco, now going to Dallas, I'm feeling good.
But think about this. Okay, so now, and then check this out. So then Detroit and Dallas, that game comes up.
Dallas got to be careful.
And then mess around and Detroit beats Dallas.
Woo-hoo.
Y'all done upset Frisco.
And now it's Philly. Got to go to
Now it's Philly and Detroit.
No, Philly would have to go to Detroit because they won.
And that's fine. But guess what? You got a much better chance of edging out the Detroit Lions in my mind than you do the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't feel that way.
You don't feel that way? Okay, so okay.
I feel like if Detroit got the moxie to go into Dallas
and beat them,
it ain't gonna be easy to go to Detroit and beat them.
That's true.
I think
that's true.
I think the task is somewhat equal.
Right.
Either way, Philadelphia is going to have a hard time.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Who would you rather see? Would you rather see? So say you guys squeak by San Francisco.
Wait. I'm going to answer this question. Who would I rather see?
Who would you rather see, Detroit or the Cowboys? Who would you rather see?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this two ways. I'm going to answer this from the perspective of thinking about it first. And if I was thinking about it, I would rather go to Dallas and beat Dallas.
Of course.
Not because of I don't know who's better between the two.
Right.
Quarterback is good.
Right.
Running backs are good.
Right.
O-line is good.
They're equal.
D-line is good. There's nothing on both sides.
That's how I feel about that game.
Right. And so I would always say Dallas because if Philadelphia somehow goes
can beat the San Francisco.
Beats Frisco
in San Francisco.
And then go to Dallas and beat Dallas, in my mind, I don't care who they play in the Super Bowl.
Right.
They're able to overcome anything if they can do that.
Okay, so
however,
okay.
The second answer is fuck Dallas. I hope they lose. I hope they go up underneath the surface of the field, get stomped on, ran by, thrown out, kicked out. I'm a Dallas hater. So
wow.
Whoever they're playing next, I hope they whoop the crap out of them, which is Green Bay. But guess what? That may not happen. But if they play Detroit, I hope the same thing. I don't want Dallas to win. Nothing. I don't even want them to see Philadelphia. I don't even want them to get to the point where they play Philadelphia.
Right.
However,
right.
Truth is it's likely they'll beat Green Bay. I can't say it's likely they'll beat Detroit.
Right.
Because honestly, I think Detroit can go into Dallas and win. But
who am I taking in that game? I'm taking Dallas in that game. I'm
taking
my
Dallas betting money in that would game. Be on Dallas.
Right. But I do think I know that I'm not giving Detroit enough credit. This is how I'm playing Detroit. I'm playing Detroit like, bro, you got to prove it to me every week. So that's how I'm dealing with Detroit. But so I would take Dallas. If it's Detroit, Dallas in the next round, I'm gonna say I'm taking Dallas.
So if I'm in Vegas and I'm throwing money out, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta pick a team, I might pick Dallas just because they're in Dallas,
right?
Because they're in Texas,
right? That
would be really the only thing that makes me do that.
But
however, like I said,
if Detroit beats them, it would not surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me.
First of all, Detroit beat them already.
Okay.
So that last game they played, the refs gave Dallas that game.
Yeah.
You guys lost that game.
Right.
And then the ref says, he didn't check in. You guys got him on camera checking in. I mean, you got the ref actually listening to the guy.
Yeah, that was a big issue.
That's some bull. Yeah.
That was a big issue. Officiating, a big issue in the NFL. We felt like we got shafted.
They need to make it where you can review almost anything.
We felt like we got shafted in that game where they called that offsides on the kick against the Colts. And you go back and you look at the tape, and it's like, no, bro, that's just a perfectly timed jump.
In my opinion,
So, yeah.
I think anything should be able to be reviewed.
Yeah.
Anything that is considered questionable or shady,
Yeah.
regardless to what it is,
No.
should be able to be reviewed.
Right, I hear you.
That's to get it right.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So
Especially
calls, or non-calls.
Well, and guess what? Especially at this level,
Yeah.
where you're talking about millions and billions of dollars on the line with winners and losers.
And even non-calls.
Yeah.
I would, if I'm the commissioner, I said, well, we don't have to relegate the game only to refs on the field. We can actually create it where now we're gonna create this. We're gonna have refs off the field, and those refs off the field are the people behind the camera scene. And if they see something that the refs missed, they should be able to call into the game and say, "Hey, no, that shit is pass interference."
Hey, look, so
you're full of that bull.
So I went to some futuristic stuff in my mind, and I was like, I wonder will the NFL ever get to a point where, and I'm talking the AI and robotics, where they actually won't have human refs and they'll actually have robotic refs on the field. And this is just some sci-fi. This is just me just being out there in the future, and I'm like,
that's actually not a
like take the whole the referee human component out of it, and you actually have like smart refs, and you actually have these robot refs on the field.
Well, I guess they would be androids that can run. And
right. I'm just saying. I mean, you know,
in the future.
And that was just me doing some, like, wow. I wonder how will NFL football look in like 25 or 50 years?
I'm wondering if, and it's going to sound, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But monetarily speaking, I wonder if they would want to take the jobs away from people.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they got plenty of money. No. But I think.
But you're taking jobs away from a whole lot of people because those refs. I'm sure because how many refs are on the field? About 5 of them, 4 or 5.
Right.
So every game. So how many games?
We already know on the human level, we have no problem with replacing people.
We do know, but I'm pretty sure that they would, because it's like, damn. So we don't ref no more. That's taking money out of a lot of people's pockets.
Not that many.
About 70.
But no, that was just some. I was like, you got
I can actually see that happen.
You got robotic refs, dude.
I can definitely see that happen.
Yeah.
And honestly, I could see them at this point keeping the refs, but having people behind the scenes because they already go. They already go to New York for certain calls.
Right, and overcalling.
But all you have to do is amend it and just say, you know what, we're going to be able to call anything that's not right.
Right.
So a game like that where you say, well, he didn't, and you can't reverse it.
Yeah.
Because it's in the rule book that we can't reverse it. Somebody in New York or whatever should be able to say, no, that's reversible. It's the wrong thing. He checked in.
Right.
We got it on camera.
Right.
Everyone heard it.
Right.
You just missed it.
Hey,
and so they should be able to do that.
All right, so let's get to the Super Bowl prediction. So who do you see in the Super Bowl? I
would love to see Philadelphia with anybody, but
no, I'm just saying.
If that doesn't happen,
what's your Super Bowl pick? Who's going to be in the Super Bowl? And I'm not saying who's going to win it, but who's going to be?
I don't know who's going to be on the NFC side. I would rather see if it's not Philadelphia.
You can't have another team come out of your mouth.
If it's not right,
you like T. I can't say that.
It's hard to say.
Right. I can't say that because if
it's
I'm being
not
honest,
Philadelphia,
right.
I don't want to see Dallas. Period. So I will say Frisco. I just can't even frame my mouth to say Dallas is going to the Super Bowl.
So you're saying San Francisco?
I'll say San Francisco, and I would like to see Baltimore.
Okay, I'm going.
And I'll the winner would be Baltimore.
I'm going Ravens, San Francisco too. I'm going Ravens, San Francisco.
And if it's Dallas and Baltimore, I would Baltimore.
Right. Dallas and Baltimore. I told you how I feel about Baltimore. Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard for me to root for Baltimore.
We're on the opposite side of that.
Right.
I just flat out, I like Baltimore. I like the colors. I like players. I like coaching staff.
I don't like. It's not much. It's not much.
I like them.
It's not much that I like about Baltimore. I'm not rooting against Lamar Jackson because I do like Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar Jackson as a quarterback, everything. But I don't know. It's just something about the Baltimore swag. I just can't get. Like I said, I don't like their uniforms, dude. I don't like much about Baltimore. I just don't.
No, I don't really ever hear nice things about actual Baltimore, like the city. But
yeah, and I'm not even speaking on the city because I've never been, so I can't even speak on that. But I'm just saying the Ravens team, the logo is starting to grow on me a little bit.
The Ravens?
Yeah, because it is. I mean, I do like it's a raven, bro. So that's a death bird. You know what I mean? I'm like, ooh, that's
cold.
Yeah. That's what I say.
They got that whole Steelers, Raiders, hard work, blue collar mentality.
And it's what it is. I just don't like their color combination. Whenever you put black and purple together, to me,
dope.
I don't like it. It's too dark. I don't know why. It just to me.
Purple is royalty.
No, I love purple. I just don't like the way that they paired the purple with the black. Like even with the Lakers, I like the way the Lakers pair their black with their purple, but for some reason the way and guess who's another team? The Sacramento Kings. It's rare that I like the Sacramento Kings because it's that purple and black combo, bro. It's just I don't know. I guess it's dark on dark, and I don't know. For me, I just can't get with it.
So the prediction for the Super Bowl, Ravens, 49ers with the 49ers on top for you, right?
I would go with the Ravens winning the Super Bowl.
So Lamar Jackson ushers in a new era with negotiating your own contract.
And the reason
bets on itself, goes to the Super Bowl and wins.
And listen, the reason why I'm going with the Ravens. Well, first of all, I do think the Ravens deserve it. And guess what? They beat the Niners. I mean, they stomped the Niners earlier in the year. That's one factor. But then again, I always like to see a black quarterback win. So that's, so I would go Ravens even over Frisco, the hometown, the family. I'd be like, look, this stuff trumps.
Oh yeah, for you.
Yeah.
For the Bay.
And I'm kind of indifferent to San Francisco. At one point I was a San Francisco fan. I mean, I've always been a San Francisco fan. It's Bay Area, so I wouldn't say I was a fan so much, but because I was always Raiders, but it's San Francisco. Hey. And I like Joe Montana. I was down with all of that.
I started off
all of
Frisco.
That.
I started off with 49ers.
And most of the majority of the family that's still in the Bay now, they support San Francisco and stuff like that. My dad was a San Francisco 49er fan, even more so than the Raider fan. And so it's all of that. But I'm like, but brothers got to get it, though. Brothers got to get it. So I'm like, I'll take the Ravens. That's cool.
Okay, well, you know what? We're going to have to meet again.
Yeah.
Actually, sooner than what we usually do, maybe next week, so that, to go after the games. What happened after.
You know what? I'll say this. I don't know how many more shows we'll do before the Super Bowl, but we'll definitely do a Super Bowl show.
Right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. We definitely have to do. We'll see if our prediction if it's actually San Francisco Ravens or if Philly can squeak by.
I'll tell you this much. Pop. I know you'd be looking at these. This is my father.
Right.
Mr. Big Mike. One thing I got to say, you've been talking about my pigeons. You've been calling my e-girls and all these other names. And I feel you. But there's one thing I could say. You're not in the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, we're at home.
Bye-bye. Have a good day, everybody. Yeah. See you next time. And what is our motto?
Don't talk about it.
Be about it.
Yeah.